Good evening, everybody, and once again, welcome back to the channel. In this particular video, I would love to show you about the SPJ join, that is nothing but storage partition join. So everything that you need to know about the storage partition join, I'm going to be talking about that in this particular video. And not only that, I do have a very small lab session, and I'll also refer two great resources on SPJ that I found personally very useful. So without wasting any further time, let's get started with SPJ join, nothing but storage partition joins. Alright, so now it's time that we do a hands-on lab, and at the end I'm also gonna include two amazing fantastic blogs that I've encountered, and it's really very informative, right? So now the first, very basic, in a very simple language, okay, when do I use SPJ join? Very simple. So use SPJ join when your both the tables are partitioned by the same key. So you have table 1 and table 2, let's say it's partitioned by state or maybe by country, and you want to join that, right? SPJ join really shines out there because, when you join, the shuffling is not going to happen because of the SPJ join, right? Another scenario, right? You have two tables, again, they are partitioned by a bucket index on the same key, same partition key. SPJ join really shines there. So the expensive shuffling can be avoided. So let's rock and roll, guys, right? I think a demo would be nice to have, right? So I'm going to create a Spark session on my local machine. As you can see over here, I'm going to create a Spark session. Okay, so here you can see it's starting, right? So once I have my Spark session ready, I'll show you the next step. Okay, and again, I'm doing it locally, so things might be a bit slow, so just bear with me. So again, you can see that I do have and you can see my Spark UI. If I click here, I see beautiful Spark UI over here. All right, so what I'm going to do, sir, we're going to create two tables. Okay, ice bucket 1.5. Again, just two sample tables we have. They both are partitioned by a bucket index. See, okay, I'm using 5 buckets, and this the partition key is going to be ID. And similarly, I'm going to create a second table, as you can see, right? Bucket 2_5. So 2 represents table number 2, and 5 represents the bucket number that I'm using, right? So I'm going to create two sample Iceberg tables, and I'm going to insert from 1 to 100 records into it, right? It's a simple Spark SQL. So this basically prepares my mock data. So I'm executing this particular cell. As you can see, this cell is now being executed. So I will basically have about 199 items into this particular table. So that's done, and I can see these two Iceberg table over here. You can see that 5 buckets, right? You can see that, right? These are the two Iceberg tables I have, right? Now let's verify whether I can read the data from that, right? So again, I have data from that. I'm doing show to, so just seeing the first two items from that. Now let's check the join. That's the most fun part, right? So now you can see I'm joining these two tables on ID, right? And then I'm doing some aggregation over here, as you can see. But when I execute this, right, when I execute this Spark SQL, when I go to the Spark UI, you will see something, right? So let me execute this. You can see 99 records are there. So when I joined, all the 99 records did join. So if we go to SQL, and if I click here, you can see the first we are doing a batch scan on both the Iceberg table. So that's fine. Now look here, exchange, that's basically shuffling, right? So shuffling is happening, right? But when you do SPJ join, this exchange block in both of them is not gonna be there, right? That's the beauty of SPJ join, right? So now, and I'll show you again. After that, again, it does a sort, and then it does a sort merge join, okay? So now I wanna do an SPJ join. So I'm gonna set a bunch of configuration over here. As you can see, the bunch of flags are set to true over here, right? Now let me, same query, this is the same Spark SQL. If I execute this particular one, again, if I go to Spark SQL again, hopefully I can show you this happening. Again, look here, I have the same batch scan from both the Iceberg table, right? But I do not have, I repeat, I do not have the exchange block. Here in the first one, we have this exchange block, right? So data is being shuffled. Here I do not have that, right? So that's the power of SPJ join. Now, there are these two great blog posts that I encountered. This one, turbocharging efficiency and slashing cost, mastering Spark Iceberg join with SPJ. This one and this one. This is a really good blog in my opinion, very detailed with example and code snippets. So yeah, just wanted to point out these two resources, okay? So if you come back to the example. Now, of course, in the first scenario, both the tables, all the partitions are matching. But what if you have missing partitions or uneven partition? By that, what I mean is, like, let's say in table 1, again, right now, you have about 1 to 100, and then here 1 to 100. Let's say I insert some more partitions here, right, which is not in this particular table, and when I do a join, will the exchange still be there? Let's try to find out, right? That's And again, this is also mentioned in that blog post that I just showed you, right? So if you again take out time and read about it, right? So here you can see join keys same as partition keys, right? Then here the guy also shows partition from both side does not match, right? In that case, how it happens, right? So it, again, very thoroughly done, but I'm showing you the demo here, okay? So what I'm doing, I'm inserting some data into the second table, which is not there in the first table, right? From 100 to 110, I'm inserting some mock data. So I execute this particular cell, and then I show you the data. Here you can see in my first table, I have up to 99 ID, and the second table I have up to 100 and probably 8, right? So I have some more IDs here, right? Now, when I do a join, what do you think, right? So now we have something like this, right? So let me see if I can pull that blog up quickly for you. I believe this one. Again, in this one, they basically mentioned that, right? So partition from both the side does not match. So again, these all cases have been covered in this particular blog, and I'm just trying to show you, right? So now we're gonna do the join, right? So when we do this join again, you can see all the item matched, but what you will see in the Spark UI, still there is no exchange block, right? So that's the beauty. And again, in the blog post also, it's been covered pretty well. Now, one thing, if the both the tables, if the number of buckets are uneven, so let's say if your first table has 60 buckets, second table has, let's say, 100 buckets. When I tested it personally, it did not work for me, and I think that is what is also mentioned on the documentation when I was reading it, right? So if you scroll all the way down on this one, on the Medium post, if you see, there is a link over here, I believe somewhere here. Yeah. So this is a complete, very detailed document, and here if you see it's mentioned, right? Partition table A, table B, what sort of condition will work, right? So everything is given here, right? So again, very, very useful, right? So if you have like log data, which is partitioned by time window or some sort of a time function, you could use the SPJ join to join two tables very efficiently, right? Without the expensive shuffle. I believe in the Medium, they have done some benchmarking too, and I was looking at it here. So here you can see some benchmarking as well that's been done, and then on the column you have the percentage gain, so they show you that. So yeah, this is all I have for the demo. I hope you enjoyed. All I wanted to show you is, okay, SPJ join, how you can when to use it and how to use it, right? This particular blog is there on my probably Blogspot or Medium, I don't know, I'll just write somewhere. So the code will be there, so you can access the code and you can tweak it, you can try other scenarios, right? You can try you can maybe mimic the situation where uneven or skewed partition, and you can try and see how it works. But all I wanted to do is just give you a bigger picture. All I wanted to do is to show you, like, hey, this exists, you can use it. So if you have if you have a lot of readers that are reading data and probably it's partitioned by the same partition key, this is really, really amazing, right? Now, of course, some pro tips. I mean, of course, you must be knowing it. But if one of the table is pretty small, you could broadcast that into. You could broadcast that particular table, and the join would be even more efficient, right? That's all I have. I don't want to make it too complicated, but hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you had fun learning about SPJ join. I'll list out all the resources, all the 2 blogs that I talked about in the description of the video. So in case if you want to check it out, check it out. With that being said, keep smiling, keep programming, and I'll see you in the upcoming next video. Goodbye.